I'm going to tackle the post game here. It has some elements of the multiplayer in it. I do want to preface that we are speaking of the Dragon Quest IX on the DS. If there's any remake, this will probably get completely changed or whatever. So this doesn't affect that. But there is a post game, a very substantial one in this. And stop me when I lose you. Because this is going to get weird. As soon as the game ends, the game ends when you become basically a human and you lose your celestial powers, and you're just going to be immortal now. Well, the emotional tie of that was that you can no longer see the Starflight Express and Stella and I forgot the guy, can't remember his name, but they become invisible to you. You don't see them anymore, and you lose sight of that. Literally, the first quest line after the post game is you need to be able to see the Starflight Express again. So you go through some stuff and just re-see it. Very, very lazy storytelling. Very counterintuitive, I would say, to what the whole point of the first part was about. But that's what happens is you're able to see it again after completing a quest. It gets a little weirder because you have to get DLC. They were added later, and it's like quest 159, I think. 158, 159. I think it's 159. And they will be given to you automatically when you go to, what was her name again? The lady that gives the shop. Selma?
Selma. Yeah.
Yeah. She will give it to you automatically. Here's the problem. It's 2020.
Wait, what does she give you automatically?
The quests. She'll give you 159. I think specifically that one. And then you take it from there. Here's the problem. It's 2022. And this was a DS game. And you have to connect to DS Wi-Fi. And for whatever reason, they have to be in a. They strip these servers out, so they no longer exist. Just like connecting to Wi-Fi. So there is a way to do it. I'm going to outline that right now. First thing you have to do is connect to Nintendo Wi-Fi. You can do that in the options. You can actually do that within the game, which I didn't realize, but I did it outside of it. In the actual 3DS menus, you can get in the settings, you can get to a place where it's connected DS Wi-Fi. So you'll have to do that. I think you can also do it in the game. So take that as it will, but I did it in the system settings. Another problem is that Nintendo DS Wi-Fi, you're not allowed to have security. So if your Wi-Fi has a password, it's unusable. So
when you say your Wi-Fi, you're talking about your router?
Yeah. So what I did was use my phone as a Wi-Fi hotspot and then remove the password. So it's just like an open connection. And then connected my 3DS to that using the Nintendo DS Wi-Fi connection.
Damn, that's so shady, because if you're like in an apartment or something, they can't just take off your security. You know?
I highly recommend you turn it off immediately after getting these quests, because you do not want people on there. When you make the connection to the Wi-Fi, you also have to set a primary DNS, because it's going to lead to a specific server that actually has these DLC on it. Because otherwise it doesn't exist. There isn't. Those have been stripped out. They no longer exist. So your primary DNS has to be 172.104.88.237.
Put it on the screen.
There you go. Okay. So
you did it in the clip.
So when you do that, you don't set a secondary DNS. That'll just be blank. Now you can go into the game and go to Stornway and go talk to Selma and go into that store, and she will instantly give you the quest 159 that you'll now have to follow.
So the DNS, that's on the system settings on the DS or 3DS.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you do this from an original DS?
Yes. You'll still have to do the DNS server.
Yeah.
Okay. But you won't have to go to specifically.
Wait, a DS can connect to Wi-Fi?
Yes. That's how this all worked.
Well, but a 3DS connects because the internet settings are still relevant. But a DS connects to the internet? Original hardware DS, DS Lite, DSi?
I would assume that that function didn't get removed because it still exists. DS connection.
Okay.
I did on the 3DS, so if it doesn't work on the DS, upgrade people. Okay, so once you have the quest, 159, you will follow that around to do a couple quests. They're pretty simple enough, and eventually you'll get to quest 162. In 162, a guy needs an item, and that item will only come from defeating a grotto where the name ends with fear. I think it's fear, but it might be something different, but I'm pretty sure it's fear. Because all the grottos are like level 1 grotto of joy or grotto of luck or something. And this one has to end with fear, which apparently is a higher level grotto. So your characters will have to be higher level generally to get a good chance of seeing it.
What level would you say that is?
You have
45?
You have a thing in your thing that probably tells it better than I could. Because I never hit it. But
I have a thing that says...
Yeah, you showed me one that shows the grottos and what levels they have to be. I may even have it in my text. Let's see if I can pull it out.
Treasure maps? That part?
Yes.
Yeah, approximate treasure map level based on factors.
Yeah, that's what you want to see.
So what am I looking at right now? The max level of characters 40, level of completed grotto 30.
And then the level of map is going to be your thing. So
and the map level you're looking for is what?
I don't know. It's got to be.
Max is out at 99.
Yeah, I would wager, I don't know, 31 to 68 range or something. Or maybe
that's
16 to
level
59.
60 characters is that range.
Yeah, my character was my highest was my mage at level 48. And I never got to it. So I'm going to assume it's somewhere after that. This is ridiculous. All of this to go to the Tower of Nod, which you can get to anyway once you get the Starflight Express, which turns into like a flying ship that the other ones would have, where you can like land on land masses. And so using that, you can get to the Tower of Nod, but the dragon's sleeping. Dragon's name is Nodoff, which is funny. But
really Nodoff.
Yeah, always puns. All of this is to fight him, which maybe he's hard. I have no idea. I gave up. This is dumb. Clearly meant to be a multiplayer Diablo-esque dungeon crawler for hours and hours and hours doing what looks like procedurally generated dungeons over and over again. This was miserable. And if people like this, I don't... More power to you, I guess. This is a waste of time. This is horrible.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
That's the how-to. How to connect to DS Wi-Fi in 2022 to complete your Dragon Quest IX post-game content. Just to get your challenge quests.
Don't recommend.
Am I understanding this right? That's to get the challenge quest so you
Yeah.
can officially complete the game.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you want to do the post
So
game, you have to do all
why do you want those 60 challenge quests?
that. Well, one, you don't. But two, if you wanted them, you could do so you can flesh out the story and get more there's probably good items that they drop from it.
You get more relevant details about like Corvus and that.
Apparently, and the army that was arisen at the end of the game that you have no idea why. There's a story about that gets fleshed out more.
I guess it gives you more to do in multiplayer if you're playing with people.
That to me is the driving factor, is that you're supposed to play it multiplayer and treat it like a dungeon crawler at that point.
Interesting.
That's what it felt like, because it was nothing but going into just treasure map to treasure map,